we want to configure or reconfigure our Kubernetes cluster from its current form where the master is working as a worker as well, to be for the master to be just the master, right? And we also want to add another worker. So let's do just that. Now, as you see here on the screen, we already have most of the suite is up, and the most important product, the OMI or OBM, is already up. So I know for sure that everything is running. Let's just test it out to see if everything is fine over here. Now, don't mind the slowness that you're about to see. Probably you wouldn't see anything because we already are logged in, but it's an RDP connection, so some graphics are just not going really fast. That's completely fine with us. And yes, OBM is up, so we know that whatever change we done previously, the cluster survived it. So now we are going to change a couple of things. So first of all, we have worker number 3. And if we'll ping it, ping worker 3, it has an IP. This is the IP that we're going to use. Now we can use a DNS name, but sometimes, well, because I'm not using any, let's say, random or DHCP-based IP assignments, and we are required to give it a static IP, why not use the IP in the configuration? So let's do just that. Fantastic. So we'll go to our administration, we'll go to nodes, and as you see, we have the master that works as a worker as well, and we have the worker and the worker. Fantastic. So first thing first, we'll add our worker number 3 over here, and this is going to be the host. Now, important thing, we don't have the thin pool or LVM configured on our workers. It was maybe a mistake in preparation quite a while ago, so it wouldn't work, but still I can use the verification procedure to see that everything else is fine. So it's not an admin, it's going to be root. All right. And we're going to use password. So the password is going to be something that you are not allowed to know. And we're not going to tick this ignore warning checkbox just yet. Let's see our advanced settings. And yeah, thin pool device. Yeah, we don't do this, and we're not using funnels. We are in a very clean environment where we have only one network interface per machine. So it means that there is no need to configure the funnel. Sorry. So let's go and click on add. And probably what it says, well, it failed on show mount, not found in the path. Okay. Check common unzip failed. There is no unzip. So I did not run the prerequisites on this machine. So prerequisites are very, very important. And I forgot to run this command. So let's do just that. Let's prepare our worker node to be a worker node. So how do we do that? So first of all, I have this procedure over here, as you see, and I'm just opening it on other screen, so I'll have a cleaner way of doing it. And I will open the install option because I remember it from there, prepare, and then prepare the server. And it has on the worker node, CMD, replace temp folder, netstop np, and we have, okay, so it has all those configurations for getting the file already, and we're not going to do that, not at all. We're going to do something different. So first of all, we are going to set up a timesync on that one. So if I remember correctly, it's going to be vm-tools. Yes, the vm-tools command. Let's see, where is it? vm-tools, come on. Yes, okay. So this is a good replacement for timesync if you don't have a chrony set up properly, right? And chrony, it's a little bit, well, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard, depends on your environment. But if you are hosting your environment on VMware, well, just run this command and you are done. And it works like magic, and it's not prone to any mistakes. And for example, if you want to clone your environment, probably, and you don't have a proper chrony server installed, you will need to move your own chrony server to another environment which we don't have. So if we're using VMware, let's use just that. Okay, fantastic. Now I have a yes, I have the prerequisites saved or prepared in another place, but we're not really going to deal with that. Okay, now let's see if our IP forwarding is set up. So we are going to prepare our worker server as well, and forwarding is disabled. Okay, fantastic. So let's just modify the file that contains those settings. It's going to be nano, right click. Okay, and we need to net IP forward, control W, and we are going to say forward. Let's see, forward not found at all. Net IP forward, okay, so we're just going to add this line somewhere over here. And we're gonna say added by admin. So other people would know, and we're going to do this. Right click it, exit, say yes. Okay. Right, we added, and then we will run this command to enable it. Is it enabled yet? Applying, applying, applying. Yes, fantastic. Now let's see the prerequisite packages, and yeah, so it kind of says, well, you need to prepare all of the bunch of this stuff if you want to make your worker node work. And you know what? It's fantastic, but we need to define our routing. So let's see if we have the local host. So it's going to be nano. Oh, come on, exit. See, that's what happens when you just click too fast. Okay, nano etc hosts. Let's type it manually, and it's set properly. Well, why wouldn't it be? It's kind of a default thing to do. And then we're not going to define the theme pools. This is the one that we're going to well, ignore, let's say. But what we need is to install the prerequisites, and I believe I have the prerequisites somewhere here, right? So this is the verification. Let's see, and it has some of it, but not all of it, right? We need to install them first. So let's find this command and see how it goes. So, okay, so we have the CDF commands, and we need to install all those nice packages. Right, and this is not the right one, but still, there we go. So here's yum install. Go for it, yum install. Go, 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 install. So you see, it's very, very helpful to run the pre-check, because if I would be ticking this box of skip the pre-check or something like this, I would be in trouble right now, but we're not. So there we go, installing the packages, everything is nice and smooth. I'm completely fine with that. Just let it run another second. And of course, once it's done, we are going to power off the machine, and we're going to create a snapshot of it. So next time when it's up, I'll have a nice snapshot of everything. Fantastic. So I'm gonna be doing power off. Yep. Going to vCenter. Let's wait for it to be powered down. And okay, we lost the IP address, and in a second it would be powered off. There we go. So we right click it. We go to snapshots, take a snapshot, and we'll say prereqs install. Fantastic. It's saved. Always nice to snapshot your environment when it's powered off. It just takes a second. Okay, and we are powering it up. Let's wait another minute or so until it is fully up and prepared for us. In the meanwhile, I can show you that the server is configured with lots of power in it actually. Yeah, so we will go to settings. You'll see that it has actually 8 CPUs, I think, right? Yes, it has 72, let's say, gigabytes of RAM, and not a very big hard drive, just 120, but it's a worker, so we're not too worried about that part. All right, so let's go back over here and we will reconnect to our server. Yes, now we will go back and do another check. Now it will fail for sure because we don't have the thin pool devices, but it will show less errors. And everything is passed, but we have just 2 warnings. Yes. Let's see what warnings we have. LVM thin pool device is not configured, and command contract is not found. So contract is not found in path, user not all production. Strongly recommended contract. You know what? Let's contract. Sounds like something that tracks your configurations, right? So yum install contract. Why do I have a dotted end of it? I have no idea. But yeah, -y. Let's see if it's a package that we can actually use. Yes. Okay, there we go. Cool. So thin pool, I don't want to configure the thin pool. I don't see any point in it at the moment. Yeah. For the Docker, for production, strongly recommended. Well, it's strongly recommended, yes, but our environment is kind of, outdated slightly. So we're not going to do that just yet. Maybe in the future we will replace all the workers with the properly configured ones, but it's something that is easy and fast to do, and we are just not going to do that. So we know that it's able to connect, the password and the username worked, and we have only one warning to take care about. So we click on add after ticking the ignore warning box. Let's see. And there we go. It would add itself pretty soon. Please wait a moment and then click on refresh. So we're not waiting a moment. We are hitting refresh several times until it's up, but it doesn't take too long. It doesn't take too long to do so. In the meanwhile, let's go to our resources. And let's see on which servers we are running our master node or workers. Let's see. So there it goes, going down. Worker. So it seems that nothing is running on our master. No, UCMDB is running on our master, and it doesn't like a couple of things. So, and I can conclude that by adding a worker here in the master, we will see that some of the containers are actually reconfiguring themselves. No, they're not. And we have this status over here of all of them. Well, it failed. Not sure what failed because everything looks very nice, but we have all of them configured to run on master. And actually they're going to be switching to a worker node in a minute. Oh, there we go. So yeah, so it kind of keeps the logs or everything over here, but yeah, it's all fine. Fantastic. So this is how you add a worker node and how you prepare a worker node for your environment. And of course, it's always worth it to have a snapshot somewhere over here. Okay, it's still not added itself. It probably copies a lot of files, but we can check if we have Kubernetes already. No, still not yet. It's still working on it, still copying the files. So what it's going to do on the worker at this moment, it's going to install the Kubernetes software on it and hook everything up to our cluster. and probably nothing else is required from us. Well, not probably, definitely. We already know that. We already tried it out. We just need to wait a little bit for it to finish. Now, if you remember correctly, in the beginning of the video, we said that we are going to configure our master, well, reconfigure our master not to serve as a worker node. But apparently someone touched my environment and already removed the worker label from the master. So now we are a little bit falling behind on that task, but it's as easy as going over here to the nodes and just removing the label. That's about it. This is how we reconfigure the whole thing. Now, but when we go to Kubernetes resources and we'll be examining the nodes, we see that the node is already there. And it's been like 3 minutes since I paused the recording, and we have the Kubernetes sitting over here already in the worker node, in the worker number 3 that we added. And here in the resources, I actually see that previously I was adding workers by their DNS name, and this one goes by the IP address, but it doesn't matter, it doesn't change a thing. It's pretty normal like this. And there we have it. So those are our 4 nodes in the cluster: the master, worker, worker 2, and worker 3. Which is a good advice for you when you set up your workers. Always give them a number, because you might expand the quantity and it doesn't look very professional when you see worker, no numbers, right? See you in the next one.